What is up, everybody? We're back here with another NBA Locks video on another Wednesday. How are you guys doing? We are currently 11-8 on NBA Locks, operating 3 units up, almost at the golden percentage, 60%. Got to get a few more wins here to get to that percentage, but I think we will do so. We got a great slate of games on Wednesday, some great teams playing, and you see the 5 matchups here. Tried to pick the 5 most marquee games that you guys can watch. Obviously, the 2 nationally televised games on ESPN. So without further ado, let's get started with the number 1 team in the Western Conference in the Utah Jazz facing the number 1 team in the East, the Philadelphia 76ers. And this one is a very interesting matchup for me. And I'm going to be going with the 76ers getting the 2.5 points. I think this one's going to be a very close game. And I just think the 76ers are a great home team. 15-3 at home. The Jazz are also a great home team. Not as good away. 12-6 away team. No one's really out for this matchup. Both teams are going to be operating at full strength. And if you remember, the first time these two teams played, they played in Utah. And Joel Embiid did not play. Ben Simmons put up 40-something points, but 76ers still lost by 11 points. Look for Joel Embiid to have a great game here. He's trying to bolster his MVP campaign, and a notable win like this and a great stat line would do him very well. And the Jazz actually haven't been doing very well. They obviously last Wednesday got that great win against the Lakers, but since then, this is the 4th game on their road trip. Lost the first game to the Miami Heat. Miami, inconsistent team, but they can play well, so that's a pretty bad loss, I would say, for a great Jazz team. They bounced back, beat the Magic, but then lost to the Pelicans and Zion Williamson. So Jazz not playing the best during this road trip, and the 76ers have been inconsistent as of late, but notably beat up the Pacers on Monday. So give me the Sixers here. I know this is going to be a close game. Look for Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert to have great games, and I think Jazz might shoot very well. I think this one's going to be a shootout, but give me Joel Embiid and the Sixers in a close game. I'm getting 2.5, so lock in the Sixers there. Next game, we have the Cavaliers hosting the Pacers, and this one is a very interesting lock. I'm going to be taking the Cleveland Cavaliers money line, plus 200. They are currently plus 6 if you want to take that. But I just love the trends here in favor of the Cavaliers. Notably, they're on a 4-game win streak in which they've beat some pretty good teams. They've beat Houston twice, and they've also beaten the Hawks, who are a decent Eastern Conference opponent, certainly to that level of the Pacers, and also beat the Sixers in overtime a few days ago, whereas the Pacers have lost their last 4. They are in complete shambles. All to some decent teams, but not very good as of late, as you can see. Also, down some players here, notably T.J. Warren, Karis LeVert, who've been out for a while. You have Malcolm Brogdon, which I don't know how well he's going to be as a facilitator for this team. Domantas Sabonis, all-star snub, but he hasn't really came out hungry like you thought he would. So give me the Cavs here. I know that the Pacers might be the better team on paper, but I just love the trends here. Cavs have won 4 straight. Pacers have lost 4 straight. Can it keep going? I'm getting 2 units if the Cavs win this game, and I think they might. They have a great shot to win this game, in my opinion. Colin Sexton, Andre Drummond have been playing very good. Then you also have Darius Garland, the young and upcoming player. So Cavaliers have a lot of young players who I think they are just getting into their rhythm. Remember, terrible Eastern Conference, the Cavs at 14-21 are looking for a playoff spot here. So give me a hot Cavaliers team to knock off the Indiana Pacers. Next game, I have the Nets at the Houston Rockets. And in this one, give me the Nets to cover the 6-point spread. And at this point, you just have to tail the Nets on every bet. The last one was a nail-biter against the Spurs, in which the Nets were 4-point favorites and ended up covering in overtime after a wild end of regulation. But really, I'm just banking on the fact that the Rockets are down a number of players in this one. Dante Exum's out, Eric Gordon day-to-day, Daniel House day-to-day, and John Wall just hasn't been able to carry this team as many thought he could. And Nets obviously only down Kevin Durant, but that doesn't really matter because they have obvious star power in James Harden, who's been playing very well, and Kyrie Irving, who returned from a short injury. So give me the Nets here. I just think the Houston Rockets at 11-22 just are not playing great basketball. I know it is in Houston, and this is the Nets' second game in Texas, but you have to tail the Nets at this point in the season. They are just such a hot team at this point. 9-1 in their last 10. And then if you look at the Rockets, they've lost their last 12. So you certainly can't think that the Houston Rockets are going to beat one of the best teams in the league, let alone even stay close. This one has to be the lock of the night. Brooklyn Nets covering the 6-point spread and against a terrible Rockets team. So lock that one in there on ESPN. Second leg of the ESPN games, we have a very close matchup between the Warriors and the Trailblazers. And I have been great on Warriors picks all year. And I know I don't have anything to back this up, but I'm actually 21-11 in predicting the spreads on the Warriors games. So operating 10 units up, really just a sharp at this point on the Warriors game. So if nothing at all, you have to listen to me on this game. Obviously, it's going to be a very close game. I think these are two very close teams. But give me the Warriors money line in this one. It's basically a pick 'em at this point. And I know everyone is discouraged that the Warriors got blown out in the manner that they did. They were down 30 points in the second quarter of the Lakers on Sunday on a standalone game. But really, if you've been watching the Warriors all season, they are just not good against the elite level competition, the top echelon teams. And it didn't help them that the Lakers were basically hitting every shot, and the Warriors, a three-point shooting team, could not make anything. And I really just think that the Trailblazers, shorthanded here, out Harry Giles and out some other notable starters, they've really been inconsistent as of late. Before beating Charlotte in their last game, they had some virus issues, and then they had lost 4 before that to some decent teams given, but not good. And the Warriors, I think Curry has a bounce-back game. Draymond, although being injured in their last one, is playing in this one. I think Curry, he's been in a slump recently. He's going to get it going here on a nationally televised game. Damian Lillard is going to match him, but ultimately I think Kelly Oubre has been the difference maker for this Warriors team throughout the past few games, and also Andrew Wiggins on the scoring end. So I think the Warriors just have too many weapons here for the Trailblazers. Trailblazers is not a good defensive team in the slightest, so give me the Warriors to go into Portland and get the dub. Next and final game, we have the Lakers at the Kings, and this one is a pretty obvious pick again for me. I have the Lakers, although on the second leg of a back-to-back, -4 against a Kings team who has been abysmal as of late. Kings, reminder, 1-9 in their last 10. Notably beat the Pistons, and that was down to the wire, and they really stole that game from the Pistons. Other than that, they've lost against every team. And this Lakers team, I know they have been pretty inconsistent, lost all those games without AD, then beat Portland and Golden State, but then last night obviously lost to Phoenix. Phoenix is a great team, and they were just gunning for that victory because, frankly, the Suns don't get many standalone games, so when they do, they had to make it count. Devin Booker and CP3 both had huge games there. But this is the Lakers' final game before the All-Star break. I just feel that they're going to bounce back here. 4 points is much too little of a spread for me. So take the Lakers to beat the Kings. Kings have been ice cold as of late, as I already mentioned, and have a lot of players out here. Jabari Parker, Hassan Whiteside, Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton. The list goes on. So the Lakers getting Dennis Schroeder back, although the loss against the Suns last night, who are a great team, I think they've been playing pretty well, and it won't take much to beat this Kings team, who has been terrible as of late. So let me know your locks on this NBA Wednesday slate. I want to know, are you fading me? Are you tailing me on any picks? Which ones did you like? Which ones did you not like? And I will see you all in the next one.